what's up, sir? Welcome back to another Poem Masters video, and today let's talk about the new anniversary Skyla that's coming later tonight, which as usual I will be summoning on, right, as soon as she drops, so make sure you'll tune in the summer live stream. We'll also be doing another Legend Arceus live stream right before it as we wait for the banner to drop, right? I usually upload these videos a bit earlier. Sorry I didn't upload it earlier, because I was actually doing a lot of homework last night. I just didn't really have the time, unfortunately. I got a lot of other videos coming out later today, so stay tuned, I guess. I have 11 minutes between right now and my next class. I literally just finished one of my classes. I have another class in 11 minutes, so I'm gonna quickly record this one. Hopefully we could all right, get this over. So anyways, Skyla Tornadus, she's basically in one word, what does she do? She sets Flying Zone. That's the biggest thing, in my opinion, that she does. She sets Flying Zone, and that is very, very good, because obviously that buffs, you know, helps buff a lot of flying types in this game, right? Well, not all of them, you know, like, Holiday Skyla, which, I don't know, I'm slightly disappointed in the fact that she can't help Togekick, because I always thought Togekick was pretty underrated as a unit, because it had a pretty solid sync nuke. Damage not terrible, right? And also get the, you know, you could flinch the opponent, good status opponent, all that stuff. And then and also gives your team like random like stat buffs as well, right? And it just sucks that you can't run Skyla Togekick, which is why I really wish in the future they do zone zone units for units with like alts, right? At least make their alts not use the same type that they usually do, like Cynthia, for example. Cynthia went with Giratina, which is ghost type, right? Her other two units are, one's a dragon, one's, you know, ground type, right? So I thought that was much better. Marnie's another great one as well, right? Marnie's zone setter is a steel type, and then her alts, one's a fairy type, one's dark type, right? Or, well, electric / dark. So, and Cyrus, dark zone setter, but the regular version is water / dragon, right? So I do think this slightly sucks, just because again I do think Holiday Skyla's actually would have been a really nice option to run in Flying Zone, but unfortunately that's not the case, right? But still, there's still a lot of really great ones. Obviously Gyarados very good. Shiny Mega Rayquaza is another one, right? Pidgeot if you want, I guess. Staraptor's a pretty solid, you know, nuker that you could also run there as well, right? Evoltol, right? So there's a few options here and there, right, that are actually pretty nice to run in Flying Zone. So outside of Flying Zone, she does do a few other pretty nice things, right? You do have mini potions which again, I don't like, but you know, whatever. it's something, right? It's something. It's not completely useless. It's not. Yeah, I'm just personally not a huge fan of mini potions, because they just don't heal that much, right? I just prefer like bigger single target burst heals, right? Because you're mainly trying to keep your tank alive anyways, right? Anyways, your training move does buff your special attack and crit only by 1, unfortunately, but does buff the whole speed of your team by 2. This is the second best thing I think she has, in my opinion, right? Which is the team speed buffs. Team speed buffs nowadays are just so good, right? Especially on techs. Like a lot of techs or like really good techs have it, right? She has it, Palantine Serena has it, Duroc has it, right? Honestly, the one thing that keeps Duroc from being like completely irrelevant, right, into like SS Musketeer is the fact that it also buffs team speed. Incineroar has it as well. These are all really great techs, right? And if you look at the stats, like you have a really good special attack, you have really good speed. The other slight downside, well, I wouldn't say it's slight downside, is your main damaging move is Air Cutter, so that means you don't have any main damaging moves, basically. Even though you have a very high special attack, it is wasted, because Air Cutter sucks, right? And then your sync move is a pretty easy innate to set up, right? In comparison to like something like Latios, like Flying Zone is definitely easier to get. And then for passive, you have staggering 30% chance of flinching the opponent. That is actually pretty nice, because it is AoE, right? And I think unlike, you know, if it was like Twist or Aggravation, Air Cutter AoE staggering should have the similar effect as Singsu Leaf's like AoE poison. Like if you poison one, like everyone like gets poisoned, right? Rather than you like flinch 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3. It's like if you it's either a hit or miss, right? Either you flinch no one or you flinch them all. Pretty sure that's how it works, right? And then Gothpack too, same thing except for Confusion, but also Confusion less useful, unfortunately. Also, like, why did they not give our Tornadus Hurricane? That was such a layup. It's like Tornado Pokemon. What are they doing? Why did they not give it Hurricane? Oh my god, I'm so upset over that. Anyways, my grievances for this unit aside, I still think it's a fine unit, right? Move Gauge Solution and Flying Zone, you know, which obviously helps the already really great gauge for Skyla, right, with the fast speed and team speed buffs, all that stuff. So one great, you know, immediately, great thing that you see about Skyla is she's really great for your team's gauges, has a flinch stuff, has Flying Wish, right? Yeah, moving on into her grid, right? Actually, before we talk about her grid, this unit, is it really good of unit? I'd say yes. I think it's a good unit overall, right? Are there again some limitations, some things that are not that great about it? Yeah, are there some really great things about it, right? I'd say there is as well, right? The big downside over here, obviously, is the damage. She does no damage, right? And you know, some might argue, well, she's attack. She does all the other stuff, right? Who cares about damage? She does all the other stuff as well. I don't really like that argument because nowadays, if you brought that argument up like 2 years ago, then totally fine. But nowadays, techs do monster damage, right? Look at Renegade Cynthia. Look at Lucas. These are all really recent units, right? Look at Lucas Dialga. Look at Darkrai's damage, right? Again, he doesn't have a high frequency of outputting that damage, but the numbers are very good, right? The numbers are very good for Darkrai, right? Look at Marnie, right? That's a huge one. Kimono Grimsley, like, these recent tech units have been monster damage dealers. Even Latias, right? Latias is a much better damage dealer, right? None of them are, well, I wouldn't say none of them, but like, the tech units don't have to be like Leon levels of damage, right, on their normal moves, although some do come close. But at least they give you something on the offensive, and then, like, again, the big thing with Skyla is like you have like nothing over here. Like, if you look at the damage, right, this is what flying type you have. Your Lance is really good, Steven, all right, Leon, Blue, Lysander, Drock, Glidance, and then Skyla's, oh no, that's Holiday Skyla. All right, where's the other Skyla? Well, there's Nate. There's Anniversary Style. This is like, you do like 100k less than like Nate. Like, come on, right? But on the other flip side, if you do have her maxed out, right, her nuke is very good. She has a very powerful nuke. You know, better than Duroc, which Duroc already has a good nuke, right? Holiday Skyla already has a good nuke. Much better than both of those. Much stronger than both of those. So she does make up for it with the big nuke, but I just wish she had like something of a resemblance of like solid damage, like at least even like as good as like Holiday Skyla maybe, or like Gladian, like Gladian, man. or Duroc, I don't know, but yeah, it just, even if it's like a bit harder to set up, maybe, you know, a lot of Harry multipliers, at least give the chance to do some solid damage. But no, she doesn't really at all. But again, she does have that really good nuke, so she's not like completely useless offensively, because again, like, if you do have her at 3 out of 5, right, I think all the multipliers are 3 out of 5, right? Let me yeah, if you do have her at 3 out of 5 and you're running a flying team, you're outside of an EX support or a Mega that you really need to sync, like Blue, you're not synced with anyone else. You're synced with Skyla, right? And that's definitely a lot of damage there, at least, right? It does make up for it. But again, the other 3 turns, you're outputting nothing. But yeah, all right. Let's go over like Skyla. If you are going to summon for her, right? What copy should you go for? 1 out of 5 gets you the basic kit of Skyla, right? Speed, team speed buffer, okay-ish AoE flincher. It's not like very good. It's only, you know, 30% over here, right? And the big thing, Flying Wish setter, right? That's what you get in 1 out of 5 Skyla. 2 out of 5 Skyla, you get a Team Sharp entry, which could be nice sometimes, right, to buff the crit, but honestly, 2 out of 5 isn't really worth it, right? And then 3 out of 5, you get the full nuke stuff, right? Inertia over here, Interference Sync 5 over here, right? You have Disarm over here, which is also pretty decent. Soften Up for your sync, NPR and Flying Wish. So her real stuff comes at 3 out of 5, right? At 1 out of 5, like, you're just give up on doing damage, straight up, right? At 3 out of 5, you at least have a very, very good nuke. You still won't do damage with Air Cutter, but you'll at least have a good nuke, right? So in terms of how many copies do you want, 1 out of 5, 3 out of 5, it really depends on yourself, right? Do you need her as a nuker, right? Especially if you are running like an Annie Stevens team, because like Annie Stevens nuke is pretty bad, right? Where is it? Like, yeah, like Annie Stevens, obviously, people meme this to death. Annie Stevens nuke's pretty, honestly, anyone like outside of like Holly, Skyla, and Drox nuke are all pretty bad, right? So I do say this nuke is really, really nice, but you also don't really have to go for it if your DPS is good enough, and then you could throw in an EX support to go for a sync, right? But then again, your overall damage is still really, really low, just due to the fact that Skyla just straight up doesn't give you that much damage, right? So you know, didn't give you that much damage herself. So I do think 3 out of 5 is pretty big for her, right? But yeah, in terms of, yeah, should you pull for oh my god, I go school in a few minutes, but very, very much so if you need Flying Zone, right? Because again, Flying Zone is the big factor here. In my opinion, all zone setters are worth pulling, even if the rest of their kit is kind of whatever. I mean, not to the extent that like they're like absolute garbage, right? And then they have a zone. Well, you're still not gonna pull for that, right? But you know, and her kit's not garbage, right? Her kit's fine. Although I would personally say she's probably the weakest zone setter, right? I do hope in the future we do get another zone setter, another flying zone setter that does, well, not even like better than Skyla, but at least works better with Annie Steven is a big one, because like, yeah, you could still set flying zone for Annie Steven, and that's, you know, very, very good for Annie Steven, right? But still, like, it's not the perfect fit for Annie Steven, unfortunately. So I'm still holding hope for the future that we could get actually a, you know, solid flying zone setter that does actually help Annie Steven a bit more. But at the moment, the thing is, we don't know how long it will take to get another zone. I would at least think we'll get all the zones out first before we get second zones. Although, you know, with DNA's pattern of releasing or trying to complete things that they start, who knows, right? But yeah, just for the sake of that she's a zone setter, I'd say it's definitely a unit that you could consider. But with that in mind, do remember that the rumors do rumor of a certain slithery legendary that might be coming soon that turns into a Gundam. That is just straight up bonkers, right? That is just straight up bonkers. And also the other, what is May Latias is also up, so that's another banner that you could consider. Obviously, Psychic Terrain isn't as exclusive as Flying Stone, but I do definitely think May and Latias is the like better unit. But again, it really depends. Do you need that second Psychic Terrain setter, right? You would probably want it if you have an overflux of psychic damage dealers, but not enough Psychic Terrain setters. But if you don't have that many psych type damagers, then maybe not, you know, maybe not Latias, and you should probably go for Skyla instead, right, to help your flying type units. But like, honestly, a lot of times your like Latias plus Singsuit Luzmin plus, you know, whatever would probably destroy a stage harder than your Skyla plus Nate or whatever. Again, it really depends on your flying units, right? We'll see, right? Just like even off type. But anyways, yeah, that's me this one, I guess. Hope you guys think in the comments down below. Like this video, start our channel, some more upon Mascon. Again, we will be pulling for her later on, and I need to go to class. And yeah, just in short, if you really need the flying zone setter, I'd say definitely go for her, right? Because we just don't know how long it will take for a second flying zone unit to come out. And plus, she's not bad. She's just not bad, right? Like, she's again fantastic flying nuker, all that other stuff to help your team, and all that stuff. So she's solid unit, solid. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Then I have to go to class. Zoom.